Alright, reptile freaks, I've got a snake here that she's on eggs, and I really wasn't expecting anything this year, but I needed some cage space. I moved one of my males into this cage, and they've been together for a while. I never seen an ovulation. I never seen her cycle, but here we are. She's on eggs. I'll just take you guys through what I do when we're pulling this thing, when we're pulling these eggs. But this snake here is a pearl, which is a pearl Burmese python, which is an albino hypo. A lot of these snakes, they could be super tame, handling wise, but once these females are on eggs, they change their attitude. They go into like a defense mode all the time, trying to protect these eggs. I don't know if these eggs are good or not. She kicked out one slug a couple days ago, and then here we are today. The last I lifted her up, they looked white and they looked okay, but we won't know for sure until we candle them. But anyway, the last time I had this snake dropped eggs, it was just a partial clutch, and I may have gotten maybe, I think it was 6 or 8 snakes, or 6 or 8 babies I incubated total. One of them I still have, and the others went out and I rehomed them. But out of those, I got normals, albinos, hypos, pearls. I did get one hypo green, which was a surprise to me. I didn't know. It turns out she's het green. And I also got blizzards. A type of snake I've really wanted for a while is an ivory. The last time, if I was able to hatch out more eggs, I probably would have gotten an ivory. So hopefully, fingers crossed, if I do have good eggs and there's more of them this time that hatch, then hopefully I'll get an ivory out of this batch that I can keep for my own personal collection, and the rest I'll rehome out to everybody. Anyway, all right. So here's the other, the male I had in with her. So this is a hypo, and he's het, albino green granite. That's one thing I like about Burms. In the male Burmese, you can do this with these guys. The male retics, in my experience, you can't just reach in and do this. The male retics will try to battle you. Alright, so I got a couple of these toads that I use for eggs. I can't remember what, I ordered these things online somewhere, and I can't remember what they are. Oh, Iris. I don't know what model these are, but they're approximately 24 by 24, about 6 inches tall. And these, for the incubator I have, they work out just perfect to where I have, about 2 to 3 inches on all sides of the box inside my incubator. I've got a couple toads here of vermiculite and perlite. I'm just going to do a scoop of each into these tubs. I'm just going to do 2 tubs. I think the last time I filled these tubs up, I could get about 25 eggs per tub. The last time she laid eggs, I think she laid around 50 eggs. 2 of these toads should be more than enough room. So like I said before, I haven't lifted her up and checked to see exactly how many she has. You don't have to get a big giant bag like this. They sell smaller bags that are like 2-gallon size. Keep my I keep my incubator at like 88 degrees, so it kind of gives me a little bit of a buffer in case it goes a little bit higher than the set point. What I'll do is I'll just mix this up, turn this water on until I have water that's about 90 degrees, 92, and then I'll use this water to mix in with the media. So we're just over 90 degrees, which is pretty good. So once I mix this up, I'll throw them in the incubator. They might have sit in there. So when I mix this stuff up, I add enough water to once it's all mixed up, and you grab a clump and you squeeze it. You want the media or the bedding or whatever you want to call it. You want it to stick together and clump together, but you don't want it so wet that like a bunch of water pours out of it. So if you get a couple drops out of there, it's about ideal as far as your water content in this. So it's clumping up, but it's still a little dry. So we're about half, I think it's a gallon jug, so we're about half a gallon now. Needs more.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more.
That's it. That's good.
Think it's good?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So here's my incubator, and I've taken it's just an old Coke machine, Coke refrigerator, and what I've done is I've chopped the bottom I took about 6 inches off the bottom to lower the whole unit, and all the the original equipment that came with this, the refrigeration end of it, I gutted everything out, gutted the inside. I made a false ceiling in here, and I've taken and lined the entire thing with heat tape. So, and I've got a Herbstaff one, and I've got fans inside to circulate the air. Inside, I've got, this is THG heat tape from Reptile Basics. So I think it's 21-inch heat tape. And I've lined every single wall inside the incubator with heat tape. And then I've added 2 fans to circulate the air to help eliminate the hot spots. I've put I think about 2 dozen water bottles in the bottom, so that acts as like a ballast. So these water bottles will heat up to whatever you have the set point of the incubator. So when you do open the door like this, the water bottles will hold the heat, and so when you close the door, the water bottles will help bring the temperature back up to your set point of 88 degrees. And then also I've added I've got a tub down here with a little bit of water. That's about it with this thing. Well, actually, I also on this Herbstaff thermostat, you can set the max power to the heat tape. I think I have it set at like 30%, because when this incubator reaches temp, it usually uses about 4%. It sends about 4% of power to the heat tape. Like right now, the temperature dropped a couple degrees and we're at 20% now. The reason I turn that down is so you do open the door for a couple minutes and the temperature drops like 2 degrees. If you leave that thing on 100%, your heat tape's going to heat up. It's going to get pretty hot. What I've experienced is all the outside eggs will get more of they'll over temp, and then the inside eggs will be okay. So that's one reason why I turn down the max output to the heat tape. So we're going to put one tote in there, and then we're going to take this other tote into the room where that snake is. This thing will be ready for the eggs. Alright guys, so we're ready to pull these eggs. You just got to be careful with dealing with these snakes when they're on eggs. They'll change their attitude sometimes, and they will try to get you. In my experience, the burmese have been much easier to deal with as far as pulling eggs than the retics have been. And this girl, I think the last time she laid her eggs, I dealt with it by myself. And then when Cornflake dropped her eggs a couple years ago, I did that by myself, and I was able to get in there and do my thing. But one of these other retics, Travis, helped me out. I think we did a live stream a long time ago. It was definitely a plus to have an extra person there to help out, just because they will try to bite you. This thing was kind of huffing and puffing a little bit ago. Now we don't even know if these eggs are even any good. I don't know how many eggs are in here. This snake is, she's around, I don't know, 14 feet or so. I can already see. This one's a dud. I mean, they might all be dud, guys. It might all be slugs, who knows. And another thing I've heard, Travis can verify, he'll probably know a little bit about this, is when you pull snake eggs, or almost immediately, if the snake rolls a little bit, it's not as critical to hold the egg in the same position as it would be if you wait so long after pulling the eggs.
Yeah.
That's another thing I've heard also.
Yeah, a lot of people go crazy over rolling eggs, but if you get them within the first 12, 24 hours, they're fine.
You know, if you think about it, when the snake's laying the eggs, how does the snake know
They roll it.
what position that egg comes out when she poops it out? You know, when she pops that egg out.
I watched
where
eggs roll.
It just goes where it goes, and that's that. It is what it is. And then they kind of, you know, they've got that goo on them. They just kind of bond together after so long. Here's another one. This is a slug. This may be a complete wash with these eggs. Okay. So you can't. I don't see no veins in this thing. I have seen eggs before that had, you know, they had this weird funky color on one side, and then the rest, this color, the egg looks like it's good, but I have seen them where they were good. They did have veins inside. If this thing had veins, then we would put it in the egg box, but I don't see anything in there. It's pretty obvious when there are veins. We'll lift this girl up. Alright guys, so there's a couple eggs in here. They might be good.
Oh yeah.
Here's another thing, guys. Like, you don't have to be paranoid about keeping these things to temperature. Like on eggs, pretty much as long as you don't go over 90 degrees. Okay, so that's a good egg.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't go over 90 degrees, you're good. So you can let the temperature on these things drop down a little bit. I know of people that have incubated eggs at abnormally low temperatures.
I did 76 one time.
Yeah. It takes a very long time, but they will, it just takes a very long time for them to hatch, but they will develop. Versus if you go over temperature, if you go over 90 degrees or you reach that point, that's kind of like your threshold that you don't want to go much higher than that. So the berms are pretty, I don't know, they're, in my experience, they've been much more forgiving. I mean, if she bites me, it's going to be bad, but you wouldn't be able to do that with a retic, guys. Come on, baby. Don't squeeze. Those are good. Back up, baby. Woo. We'll just yank these eggs and candle them here in a second. No, she must. I'd much rather get tagged on the forearm than I would on the wrist. As far as keeping the eggs temperature, guys, I also keep my house at 80 degrees. I mean, we've got a lot of buffer zone as far as the temperature on here. Don't bite me, baby. We'll have to get another box. They've been up there.
Watch out.
It's been a while since I've been bit. None of these are good. Yeah, if this was a retic, we would not be, I definitely would be reaching in there like that. Okay. I think that's it, Travis. Okay. Alright. So here's a bloody arm from a bite. Cut me open right there. That's pretty mild compared to how it can be.
For a 14-foot snake, that's mild.
Okay, do you still have that light? Sit it down somewhere. So all those are bad. I'm gonna shut the light off. All right, we're gonna check. That's a good egg. Good egg. That one's good. Good. I'd say that one's bad. That one's good. These slugs ain't gonna, obviously they're color different and they're much smaller. These things, people feed them to their lizards and monitors. Good egg, good egg, good, 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 bad. We'll kick him out. Good. I'd say that one's bad. Good. That one's questionable.
You keep it, see if it grows veins.
Yeah. That one's questionable. That one's bad. I see a couple veins over there. This one's bad. I'm just going to take it out. Good, 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 good. That one's got some veins over here, so yeah, we're good. Good. Well, that one's iffy, but I do see a couple veins. Yeah. Okay. My haters are really like that, and I finally got bit. If you keep snakes, you'll get bit. So, 1, 2, 12, 13, 14, 15, 28 eggs. I think there's one in here that's, so figure 26 or 27 that are good. So 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 58 eggs total. That would have been a pretty decent sized clutch if they had all been good. Okay, close to that many. Okay, so Burmese eggs, you're looking at about 2 months. So about 55 days. The colder the temperatures are, the longer it takes. So I just figure an easy number is 2 months. So what is it, March 1st? It's the beginning of March now. I can't remember what day it is. So let's see, March, April. So beginning of May. So about May, let's see, I'm all screwed up on my numbers here. Beginning of May, May 2nd. So it's March, so we got March, April. I'm gonna have to edit this out because I can't think.
Today's the 2nd.
Today's the 2nd?
Yeah.
So it's March 2nd, April 2nd, May 2nd. So you're looking at towards the end of April. These things should be hatching, so something like that. I have this thing set at 88 degrees. Before, when I originally started, I kept it at 90, which you're better off. I would rather go a couple of degrees below your 90 degree set point, so 88, 87. Then you have, you don't have to worry about this thing over temping on you. So anyway, think what else. We could take the snake out and clean her out and clean the cage, or just leave her in there. I'll probably just leave the snake in there and worry about her tomorrow. Just leave her alone a little bit. So anyway, all right, guys. So hope you enjoyed, and I'll try to keep you guys posted. So at least expect another video in a couple months, maybe, if I feel like it. And hopefully we'll have some baby snakes hatching. So hopefully I'll get out of this clutch. I should have. So that snake, she's already proven she's het green. I don't know if she's het granite or not. You never know. But I know my male is het albino, het green, het granite. I'll get at the very minimum. I'll get normals, albinos, hypos, pearl. I'll get greens. I'll get hypo green. I'll get pearl green. I'll get ivories. I'll get blizzards. I'll get green blizzards, green ivories, and maybe I'll get some granites out of this deal. If I do, then I'll know the female's het for granite. That's the problem with these smaller clutches. If you only have 4 or 5 eggs hatching, you're only going to see so much as far as the genetic variables that'll come out with the outcome of the clutch. Hopefully I'll have a little more variety out of this clutch than I did last time she dropped eggs. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.